Limited company or sole trader, what is the best structure for you and your business? If you haven't yet, click the bell and subscribe to be notified every time we produce our best pieces of content. Limited company or sole trader, which is best for you? Now, if you're an existing business, I think this is worth checking in periodically. Is your current structure the best for you? Or if you're a new business, I'm a massive fan of getting your structure right first time. So have you assessed whether a sole trader or limited company is best for you? You are registered as your business, you're registered with HM Revenue and Customs as yourself, and this is called as a sole trader. If you have more than one owner of a sole trader business, this is normally registered as a partnership. Technically, they are the same thing. Now, you will trade through your business with your name. You may have a business name, but everything will go on your self-assessment annually. And it's likely to be, as a sole trader, you will give yourself a year end that is in line with the tax year. And that normally is going to be the 31st of March each year. What is a limited company? A limited company is a company that is registered with Companies House. It is a separate legal entity. And in layman's terms, it means it's an imaginary person. Now, rather than you trading as a sole trader as you will be trading as a company. And the way that you own a company is by holding shares. And these shares define what percentage that you own of the company, because you don't just have to be an individual shareholder. You could have your partner, you could have business partners, and you could have investors too. Complexity. Sole trader is a lot easier to complete. You've got one tax return to do, you've got one set of accounts with a profit and loss and normally a balance sheet if you're a certain size. So each year, and normally most sole traders have a 31st of March year end, the admin and the burden of being a sole trader is a lot easier. As a limited company, to keep yourself compliant, you have to file accounts annually at Companies House, which for a small company are normally known as abridged, where you file a filleted down version which shows the balance sheet but not the profit and loss account. You also have to file a confirmation statement annually which shows the directors and shareholders of the company. And this will also update who owns the company, as well as notifying Companies House if there's any persons of significant control. This means in layman's terms, who has got majority stakes. So the burden from an admin perspective, from a sole trader and limited company, there's a lot more to do, which will likely involve more costs for you as a business. What records am I meant to keep? For HMRC's purposes, it's the same. So you need to keep access of all of your income and all of your expenses. And with Making Tax Digital, that is going to be getting in more and more and more, you will need to keep detailed digital receipts of your transactions. So in my mind, the difference of record keeping for a limited company and a sole trader is very similar. What are the differences for tax? Now, again, I've lost count of how many prospects that I've sat in front of that have had some advice and they're going, don't listen, because a lot of that advice is normally outdated and they'll be giving you advice that is based on tax laws that is 7 years ago. Now, as I said earlier on in this video, these current tax times have been mad because it's changed frantically at the minute. But at the minute, if you're earning above a certain level of profit, which is roughly around 40,000, you're likely to be better as a limited company. Now, that's not a hard and fast rule, and it's always worth doing proper planning with a really good accountant or tax advisor to make sure that you are making the right decision. But when you've got taxes as a sole trader, you'll be paying your tax and national insurance normally on a 6 monthly basis. So you'll have your tax bill in January and July. As a limited company, it feels like it's a bit more onerous. You may be running payroll, so you may have tax and NI from your payroll. You will also have corporation tax if your company is profitable. And you will also pay dividend tax on your self-assessment. So sometimes that can be really annoying for a business owner, because as a business owner, you want to know, what's my tax? And as a limited company, you have to pick it up from various sources and add it together. Where as a sole trader, it's a lot more easier because you're just paying all of your tax twice a year. Now, Make sure that you are doing proper assessments on what is the most efficient for you and your business. A legal point in relation to sole trader limited company is limited liability. This means that if someone sues you or goes after you for money, as a sole trader, they can go after you personally, which means everything. Now that's a bit uncomfortable really, because they could come after your house, they could come after everything that you have. That feels quite uncomfortable. But as a limited company, you are only bound by what they can only come after you, the assets and liabilities of the company. Now, be mindful of this. If you've got an overdrawn director's loan account, and if you're not sure what one of them are, we did a video on this, or you have signed a personal guarantee, then that liability, they can chase after you personally. But as long as you haven't done either of them, and you haven't traded unlawfully and broken the law, people can only go after the assets and liabilities of the company. I think that's really powerful, especially in these turbulent times that we have been in and are going to continue in the future. There are a few business owners that I know of, and some as well, that think it's more prestigious to trade as a limited company. So as a limited company, it has a certain status. You're a director and you've got a company rather than being a sole trader. I think it's a really small point, because ultimately with small businesses, you're buying the product or services from the people that are running it. So you really buy from people. But it is important that some customers may class you as small or discount you if you're not in the right structure. When you're in your business, it can sometimes be more efficient and cheaper to set up as a sole trader and wait till you grow as a limited company. I respect that. But sometimes it's always a good challenge to think, right, a limited company is going to cost me more money, but I'm going to use this as a driver to make more profit. So I'm going to throw that gauntlet on the floor. I'm going to use this to drive me to allow me to make more profits. So all the savings that I make will be worth being as a limited company, and I do that first time. But I think that is a personal choice, and it depends on your attitude to risk. Now, there's a lot going on in this video, and if you've got any other questions, I'll be glad to jump on a discovery call with you. Please see my calendar link below. I promise there'll be no pushy sales pitch, and I'll aim to give you value.